Hi everyone, it's the Defi cryptologist. Welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be tuning in to the live AMA for VaporFi. Please stand by.
Now we are recording.
All right, hang on. How many people do we have in here? I'm not on the screen right now.
177.
All right, maybe we'll wait a little bit because we had I think nearly 600 interested.
Yeah, there was 600 interested. They was, like I said, let me send this announcement. What happens is it says to notify, but I don't know how it notifies, so I'm gonna make another announcement.
Yeah. Hey Ren, can you check your DMs?
Yes, sir. There we go. There's that.
All right, everybody ready?
Oh. That's not good. Okay.
Yeah, you see what I'm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You guys go ahead and start. I'll work on that.
All right, so everybody, thanks for joining today. I think we announced this AMA. What was it, like Monday, Tuesday during the week? We have a lot of exciting stuff. We went over 40. We're over 43,000 nodes right now. Our price has been holding well. We've got a lot of people joining on Twitter. We're almost at 27,000 followers. We had a lot of progress this week. We've talked about adding to the team. We bought we transferred a little over $1 million worth of AVAX into USDC so that we could hedge against the market and everything that's going on right now. We're working on a lot. You guys see what I tweet out all the time, that we're working on Vaporchain. We're working on, we want to get Vapor Chat going eventually, Vapor Launch. All these things are going to eventually bring profits and other people into the community. So we're all excited about that. And I think we've added, 8 team members in the past week, something like that. I'd have to go through and count them all. But it's been a great chat. We have a whole other board that we're working with, a bunch of things going on. And I mean, with that being said, I'd like to bring up John. John is our creative director. And he's going to be going through a bunch of stuff that's going to kind of give us more of an identity. I think we already do have a pretty good identity in our space in terms of, people can trust us. We're doxxed. We're very transparent about everything. But John is going to build further upon that. So I'd like to bring John up and have him go over what we're going to be talking about here and how he's going to be building out our branding. John, you there?
Okay. Oh.
Hello.
You guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Thanks for the introduction. So yeah, I'm John, Cryptographic here on Discord, also on Twitter. Really excited to be working on VaporFi. I'm an investor also, just like everybody here. So I am coming on as the creative director, and as Tom started to say, that means that we're going to be crafting a really cohesive brand for VaporFi. The organization is growing, the community is growing, and it's really time to look at our visual side of our brand, as well as sort of like the personality and the voice of how we communicate, and make sure that everything is in line with our values as a community, and that, the way everything looks and feels that we're putting out within the community and also out to potential investors is really in line with the way we want to sound and the way that we want to appear, and that is really true to who we are. So that's the first order of business, is to create that brand. That might mean some visual changes to just the way things look, colors and stuff like that. And it's also really going to elevate the appearance of our project. When you see us on Twitter, and anytime you see any kind of graphics, going forward as we get through this branding project and really establish our aesthetic and our brand assets, things are going to be very elevated. Things are going to look really professional, really, in line with, a growing organization that has really kind of taken it to the next level, and really communicating what's unique and what's different and what's exciting about VaporFi. So that's our mission. Step one is to create that brand. Coming out of that, we're going to also redesign the VaporFi marketing website. So that's the site, that talks all about what VaporFi is and the different projects going on, not necessarily the user interface where you're looking at your nodes. That might come down the line. But firstly, we want to redesign the marketing site and make sure that it's in line with that brand that we're going to create, and really giving people all the information that they're going to want in order to make a decision about investing with us and becoming a part of this community. Things like FAQs and tokenomics and, rewards and how everything works, having that all really clearly and beautifully designed on the website and on really everything that we do. So it's really clear, really easy to understand, and just gives us an image of credibility, and professionalism in the way that things are presented. I'm really excited to be leading that from the creative side. Obviously, I'm working really closely with everyone on the team to make sure that's in line with our values and really communicating the things that are important to the community. A little bit of background on me. I have owned and directed branding and web design and development agencies in Manhattan and in the New York area for about 12 years. I've managed teams anywhere from really small teams of just like a few people up to 20 plus people, including lots of freelancers. I've got a good network of creatives and programmers who are really talented and bring different design skills to the table that we'll be utilizing to produce really great work. I've worked with small startups, really small, founders that have, grown really quickly. I've worked with really big companies like Nestle and Danone and PepsiCo, like huge multinational corporations. And I've also worked with small entrepreneurial divisions within very large organizations. So really kind of bringing that full range of experience throughout different types of organizations, different sizes, lots of different industries, and bringing, new perspectives into how we communicate at VaporFi. We don't want to look like every other project, every other protocol. We really want to share what's unique about us, and we want that to be really visible through everything that we do, through our appearance and our voice and how we talk about ourselves. So that's where I'm going to be focusing my attention.
Now, can you tell them a little bit about what you and I had gone through this
Tom,
week?
I just lost you. I don't know if it cut out for everyone else, but your voice just cut out as soon as you started talking.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I hear you, Tom.
Huh, that's weird.
Yeah, I hear you. It must be on John's side.
Yeah, I can hear you, right? But
yeah,
I just didn't hear.
Maybe just ask John some of the things that he and I had talked about leading up to finding what our brand identity is, and the steps that he goes through in order to work on that process.
Cool. Yeah, Tom, I heard you that time. Thanks. I don't know what happened. So essentially, I'm following a process and walking the whole project through this branding process that's really tried and true, and has been used on many different organizations over the years. It includes quite a few steps that really lay the foundation for understanding how we fit into our landscape, and how we can take advantage of space that is open within that landscape in terms of having a voice that is different from what everyone else is doing, so that we can really be memorable and unique, and also making sure that we're not just adopting a voice or a persona just for the sake of being unique, but that it's actually really true to who we are. And that's one of the things that's really exciting and gratifying about this process, is when those things come together, when we can really look at like, hey, we really are unique. We really are doing things differently. And we can have a voice and an image that really reflects that and is true to that. So sorry.
No, well said. I mean, I think that's what, I think that's one of the reasons that we brought you on board, is that you and I had kind of talked about it ahead of time, and we were in agreement that, if you just do the same thing as everybody else, that you're just going to mix in with everybody else. We do want to stand out. We, that's the way we've built from the beginning, is to stand out. And, it's probably the best part is having other people on board that have that same vision.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what's so exciting about this, is seeing all of this groundwork that's been laid in actually being different, like really putting our money where our mouth is, and being different, and then being able to build a brand on top of that uniqueness is really great. Because I've been in situations where I'm building a brand for an organization that wants to appear different, wants to appear unique, and they put the cart before the horse, where they want to create this brand that talks about how unique they are, but they haven't really done the work to be unique and do things differently. And so, there's this loop of like, okay, I'll create the brand, but you actually have to be different. You have to back it up. But with VaporFi, we're already different. We're already doing things that nobody else is doing. And so, it's just this huge substantiation for the brand personality that we're creating.
Correct. Anything else that you'd like to add to the branding, or anything with marketing, or people that you might be bringing in to help with videos or design, stuff like that?
Yeah, I don't want to get too specific as far as like where we're at in the middle of the process right now of, defining the brand personality and getting the visuals together. But I just really want to share this excitement that things are really going to get taken to the next level. The visuals and the things that we're going to be seeing being published and put out there to the community and to people who are interested in VaporFi, it's really going to be brought to the next level visually, and not just visually, but the message of it is going to be really consistent, and people are just going to know what we're all about. And it's going to be really, really fun to work on, and I think it's going to be really fun for everybody here to see and experience and kind of see that transformation happening as you're seeing these graphics come out. It's going to be happening over the course of the next few weeks, where there's going to be sort of, we're going to wrap up the brand design, and then things are going to start getting transitioned, where you're going to start seeing this different level of material coming out from us. And I hope everyone is excited about it as I am.
Yeah, I mean, we are. And for those of you that don't know, John was crypto freelancer in the chat for a while. And I think you guys are going to notice a common theme about everybody that we bring up here, is that we wanted everybody to kind of come from the community, because they're invested, their hearts are in it, and you'll notice that. So I'll move on to the next part here. We're going to bring Mose up to the stage. Mose is our Chief Experience Officer. So if you guys can invite him up, do we see him somewhere in the chat? I'll have him go over some of the things that he's going to be working on, his role, his background, and yeah, we're excited about bringing John and Mose onto the team here.
All right, let me move to audience.
There he is. There's Mose. Thanks, John. That was great.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks for the introduction there. I'll get right into a bit about my background and also kind of explain this Chief Experience Officer role and what that really covers here. Just cover where I've come from. I had an agency, a national digital agency, for about 17 years. It was founded here in San Diego, and we had offices in New York and Dallas. And I served in the Chief Experience Officer capacity with that agency, and it really does kind of cover a lot of ground. In one sense, I'm responsible for overseeing the whole cycle of each individual's experience with an organization, with Vapor, from first discovery to ensuring we have sort of an ever improving experience throughout your time and experience with Vapor. It means really deep audience immersion to fully understand the intents and the mindsets of all our community members out there. It also covers the whole spectrum of marketing and the user experience on all of our sites, our channels, and our app. So I'll be working really closely with John when it comes to rolling out and reflecting our brand and the new user experience we have with all of those assets. I also have a real deep background in search marketing, really familiar with the inner workings of Google and skills like discerning search intent and instilling trust and authority in its algorithms, and really understanding how Google ticks so we can really get exposure and reach to new investors and grow our community. But this role also goes beyond that as well. The CXO is also serves as a chief user advocate in-house with the team. I'm charged with ensuring our users and our community that we have all have a voice at the decision table internally. And I'm responsible for really sort of championing sort of a user-centric mentality and how we think and act and make decisions as a team. I'm sure several of the team members already can speak about how stubborn I've been about a couple of these items. But that's really kind of what I see as my responsibility, and be a representative for the community in all we really do and say. Let's see. Well, after I sold my agency, I've in more recent years been consulting firms on organizational digital transformation, which is really kind of taking everything I just said and really raising it to a new level. Coaching organizations, big and small, to how to modernize and evolve their internal operations, their processes, their networks, their customer relationship management, their whole data ecosystem throughout the organization. And also mentor the leadership teams on shifting and evolving how we think about things and really be looking at things through the lens of our community and the people we serve above all else. I also bring to the table here about 25 years of back-end and front-end development. I'm a developer as well, so no stranger to things like PHP, SQL, JavaScript, XML, APIs, HTML, very well versed in all that. So I hope to lend even more value to Jose and his dev team. I have a deep background in managing in-house and offshore development teams. I understand the realities and the level of effort to turn dreams and ideas into actual reality. So I have a good appreciation for that, and I can even roll up my sleeves in a heartbeat to help whenever the need arises there. I'm also a mathematician, and I'm very much wearing that hat. So in formulating the upcoming proposal, which we'll be talking about in a sec here. So I'm sort of an analytics geek. I'm all about revenue and ROI modeling, data analysis, and then mapping what we see from this data from the behavior of our community and what they want, and turning that into actionable strategy. I also, with my business background, I bring a lot of legal and corporate governance expertise to Vapor as well. So I'm very familiar with contract law and partnership agreements, corporate finance, insurance, budgeting, compliance with user privacy laws, and all the other hurdles that come with business ownership. So I hope to be able to lend my experience to the team in that way as well. So that's, in a nutshell, me and my background and what I'm looking to bring to the team. And I cannot rave enough about the talent that Tom and Jose have brought together here. We got everything from data scientists to investment advisors, system architecture, process management. Really have rounded out the team very well. So I'm just super excited to be joining it. And I cannot tell you how thrilled I am to have John spearheading the whole brand platform and really elevating our online presence and sort of crystallizing that true, difference that we bring to the experience of DeFi when people come to Vapor. All right, so enough about me. I wanted to give some updates here, and I want to start right off about the proposal, because I know a lot of you are curious to find out about what's been going on with the proposal. And I certainly know that some, if not many of you, were less than pleased with the way things played out with the original proposal a couple of weeks ago. And I was in that very same boat. It seemed to kind of arrive sort of suddenly. It was opaque, and it wasn't apparent what the rationale was behind it. We all kind of struggled, I think, with it. So it was not the kind of experience for our community I would hope that we could have. So one of my immediate charges when I came on board with Vapor here is to sort of lead a re-engineering of this proposal from the ground up. And really, I'm trying to take a more holistic and thorough approach, a more proven methodology, and also ensuring that, along the way, we're really mindful of articulating the what and why behind what's going to be in this proposal, ensuring it's really clearly communicated as best we can, give the community time to discover it, to read it, to digest everything in this proposal, to solicit input from the community, so it really does embody, sort of the will and the sentiment of our investors and our audience, in addition to being very mathematically sound in accomplishing what it needs to financially. So that's what I'm here to do today with you guys, is first lay out some expectations. So you guys, we can know what to expect in the coming days and the timeline for this proposal coming up. So the plan with the proposal is that between 24 and 36 hours from now, we will be publishing the full proposal for everyone here to review. The proposal will remain open for everyone to discover, to read, digest it all, and we're going to keep that up for approximately about 48 hours before we open the polls to vote. So everyone has a chance to really kind of get their head around it, study it, get clarity, ask questions. And I'm also going to announce right here that we are going to have another AMA within this 48-hour period that's going to be dedicated as a forum for you guys to ask questions directly, to make sure that we're able to, have a chance to answer that. Everyone kind of understands and appreciate what the proposal is about before we open voting. And then we eventually will open voting, probably later that day or the following day after that next AMA. And we tend to keep voting open for quite a while. We haven't had much discussion about this yet, but might even lift the quorum so it doesn't get surpassed in the first 10, 15 minutes, but we still need to have a discussion there, but we want to keep it open so everyone has a chance to get in there and express their view in a sort of a wider time window. And throughout all this, we're really going to try to provide as much clarity and explanatory content as we can in short order. I really want everyone to appreciate the goal and the multiple benefits and the greater good that's going to come out of this proposal. So that's what everyone can expect. And I would just say stay tuned because it's going to be happening, in these coming days. And let's see, last thing I wanted to cover, I just wanted to knock out a couple of things that have nothing to do with the proposal, but are things I'm juggling and hoping to add to the user experience for everyone here at Vapor. One item I've heard a number of you ask in the community, and something I very much want myself, is a way to be able to hand pick multiple nodes and cherry pick which ones to compound in one transaction. I know our platform kind of lends to some more kind of creative strategies, and you might have one node you're claiming from but want to compound the others, or you're waiting 15 days to get full diamond hands or whatever, and you're left of having to pick one node at a time and spend gas each one. So I've run this by Jose, and it seems very doable. I'm going to lobby for this, that we have a means for you could just cherry pick the ones you want to compound, one transaction, one gas fee, as opposed to having to do it one by one. Also, this morning, we launched our Vapor Queens Discord channel. And this is going to be dedicated to all of the lady vapors out there in our community. I feel they really get far too little representation. And this channel hopefully will give them a chance to kind of connect with each other, exchange ideas, experiences, have a more sort of coherent collective voice in the community. And if there's any dudes out there who go in there and cause any fuss, any friction, your ass is going to get banned immediately. So don't even try. That's going to, we're going to be pretty strict on that one. And then the very last item before I throw it back to Tom here, let's see. I guess it's, as we've touched on, not a big secret that our existing documentation, definitely when it comes to some of the nitty-gritty details about compounding strategies and, the unique retroactive mechanics of our bonuses and everything, it definitely, lacked a lot to be desired. And not just that, but I've certainly noticed we have precious little content to serve all of our international vapors out there. We have very little, if any, material in foreign languages, and I want to have that addressed as well. So with this pending proposal and the fact that may change some aspects of our platform and our documentation, we've not yet tackled that, but that will definitely be a priority of mine once we conclude everything with this proposal coming up. So I think that's about it. I'll throw it back to Tom.
All right, cool. Thanks for your input. We got a lot of stuff going on, as you guys can see. We got the proposal coming out. And as I hinted on earlier, everybody that you guys see that's going to be added to our team here is familiar names because we did want them to come from our community. So I'll just kind of go through some of them here. Obviously, you guys know, Renegade has been our lead mod, and he's essentially the community director role. It's he's the liaison between the community and Mike and us, and he's going to help us with Discord and communications within there, and helping to set up these great AMAs and all that stuff. And then, like we said, we've got Maz, we've got John as creative director, and we've got our sounding board, which is going to be for technical and fundamental analysis, helping with structure, community feedback, and kind of really more the heartbeat of the project, because it's people that are very active in our chat. It's people that are in other projects so that they can say, hey, this project did this. We thought it was pretty cool. Maybe it's something we can look at. So obviously you guys know J-Rock. She's in our chat here all the time. She's got years of experience as an operations manager. She's worked in the government. She's got program and process management, strategic planning. She's been great helping us get set up on tasks and stuff like that. We got Alts Trader. I'm not going to disclose the firm that he works for, but he's been in crypto, I forget how long it's been now. I think since 2016 or so, but he works for a big VC firm. It's actually a very well-known one. Hundreds of millions of dollars that they manage, and he helps to look for fundamental analysis, technical analysis, times when you can buy the dip, when it might be time to sell. He works on corporate strategy planning. He does a lot of market research. He's been very active in our internal chat saying, hey, these are some things that I want to look at. This is what's going on right now in the government or in the traditional stock market that we should keep an eye on, stuff like that. So he's been a great addition as well. We've got Snorky Pie. He's very active in the chat, as you guys can see. He's always pushing out a lot of data. And he's run his own firm in Sweden. He's working on a startup. He's always posting how much he can squat and clean press and all that. He works on systems. He's done a great job helping us collect and analyze some of the data. So it's been great. You guys see Baba Yitu in there. He works for a Fortune 10 company. He's an executive. He's got 12 years experience there. He works on customer development, behavioral analytics, marketing, a lot of stuff like that. Data monetization, which we have talked about in the past, which is something that we think we can use our Constellation node for, because that is what that does. It collects data, and if we can find ways to use that data, Baba Yitu is going to help us take that to the next level. And then Duncan, you guys know Duncan. He is one of our mods as well, but he's been in crypto, I think, longer than any of us on the team. He's been in since 2014, so he's been through a lot. He's seen a lot, the ups and downs, the bull markets and the bears. He specializes in business strategy, organization, operations, IT, and management. And I think we've put together a phenomenal team that we're all excited about in our core chat. And it was a little rough going at the start, but I think we found some cohesion here in the last couple days, and we're looking to take you guys to the next level.
Don't forget J-Rock.
I already said J-Rock.
Oh, you did? My fault. Sorry.
She's worth being mentioned twice.
You know what? That's true. That's,
yeah. But no, it's been great participation from everybody. And another one that is kind of taking a little bit of a back seat right now is Atma. He's got some stuff going on, but he'll eventually get involved. He and I spoke on the side a little bit. But he's a network engineer and systems administrator. He's got a lot of stuff that he's been working on for small businesses, and he's really got done a deep dive into technical and fundamental analysis as well. So he'll be involved, and I think when we see opportunities for growth, that we're going to have to bring more people in. I mean, we're definitely going to have to, and we're hoping to be able to bring people in from the community as well. So. I mean, with that, we can open up questions unless anybody up here has any more comments that they'd like to make.
No, I'm
this is John. I just wanted to add real quick to what you were saying, Tom. Just from like the perspective of somebody coming into the team, that I think I probably speak for everybody who's come into the team, that as soon as we got into our core chat where all the team members were introduced and talking to each other, I think every one of us was like, holy shit, this team is amazing. Like, seeing what everyone was bringing to the table. And because I was invited by Tom and I came in and I only really knew about myself at that point. And then once I met everybody else, I was like, God damn, they are putting together an incredible team. And I'm just like super super honored to be working with everybody. But, you know, I just want to add that perspective from somebody who just came into the team.
I appreciate it. And like I said earlier, you know, you guys hear us talking a lot about, you know, Vaporchain and all these things that we want to build and are building. And I've got into, I think, 2 or 3 Web3 development chats now, and just kind of started talking about Vaporchain and what it is and where we got our start from. And I've had, I'm going to say, probably between just individuals, projects, I'm going to say probably 50 people reach out that want to build something on Vaporchain, want to partner in some way, want to launch a product. And it is something that, you know, with everything that we want to build, we're not going to be able to build it all ourselves. So we are going to be running hackathons for projects that want to build something for us. You know, if we're not going to have the time, or we're not going to be able to be efficient building all these things at once. So maybe something like, you know, the Vapor Dex is something that we can have somebody build and give something like a $200,000 reward for whoever creates the best one. So yeah, that's something that we're going to be doing. That's something that we're very excited about, that probably Duncan, myself, and Baba Yitu will kind of spearhead in terms of onboarding projects, finding the best process, the best ways to market to them, and attract other projects to our platform. We've had node projects already reach out with 7,000 followers on Discord and Twitter that they haven't launched yet, and they're targeting end of the year launch, and they want to launch on Vaporchain. So when you start out as a DeFi as a service, you transition to nodes as a service, and I think we're really transitioning to a hybrid node as a service platform with a blockchain company, with everything that we want to build. And that's something that we set out to do from the get-go, and you get these little ideas in your head, and they kind of just they transform as you go. And it's probably every day Jose will text me something like, "How about this?" I'm like, "Damn, I didn't even think about that. That's crazy." If we can do that, we can, you know, we can build something big here and build a big ecosystem to where we can bring profits in and help pay you guys back in airdrops and USDC and other profits from the products that we'll be launching. Jose, do you have any comments on that stuff?
Not really, not much that I can add. I'm super excited. I mean, we have so much going on. I'm just happy to actually, for me, be living this dream of being full time for Vapor and keep building and building and building. I would love to talk more about the specific details, but for now, yeah, I completely agree with what you said, and Vaporchain is the top priority.
Yeah, I mean, we've got, like he said, he wants to talk more about the specific details, because we really have so much that we haven't even told anybody yet outside of our little core group. And that's the part that excites me the most, is that we really haven't scratched the surface with what we want to build and where we want to go and where we want to take you guys. So with that, I'll open up to questions.
All right, let me open up the board.
Yeah. That's why I'm up here, Jer. I'm up here to help you, man. So.
Yep. So if you guys want to ask a question, by all means, raise your hand. Dunk will bring you up, and I'm gonna, while we wait for hands to be raised, there was a couple in the AMA questions. Tom, I'm gonna ask you. Let's see. I answered one. Let's see. Will Vapor Farm also be working on a P2E game? Vapor Farm.
Might be VaporFi.
Yes, I just noticed that it said Vapor Farm. I think he's confusing, because we did apply for a farm.
Yeah, we applied for a farm on Trader Joe.
Yeah, but I think the question is
the farm.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. Question P2E. Is something?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of P2E, it might be something that's kind of on the back burner. As I said, we want to be different than everybody else, and that's kind of what everybody else is doing in our node space. And it's not going to bring other people in from outside their specific community, in my opinion. And the products that we want to build, there's been a big void left in our space from abracadabra. And if we're able to build something like that and attract other people to our ecosystem, we're bringing in other people. We're just not relying on the people that are inside of our ecosystem to keep us going, and that's what we want to do. But like I said, everybody else is doing P2E, and that's a long time away. If somebody wants to build something for us, that's a different story. But that's not something that we're going to be focusing on right now because we don't think that it's really going to be a profit generating thing.
Agree.
Yeah, actually, to add to that, I think if we get involved in P2E, I think we can provide more value by sharing our knowledge and helping teams to have their own subnets for their own game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be something.
So
cool.
we can provide subnets for people to develop games. That would be the way we can
Subnet
we can
as a
work with
service.
them.
Little sneak preview there, huh, Jose?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, man, that was just put on the board. I love it. That's big. I hope you guys know what that means. That's big. That's
it's huge.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And still has to be.
Tom, I'll add too. We kind of already gamified. We're not play to earn. But we're gamified. I mean, it's a game to figure out your compound and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree. And that's something that, we wanted to, I believe in gamification big time. I think gamification makes people better if they can find ways to come up with their own little strategy and improve and make themselves more money, more power to them. That's the purpose of gamification that brings the better out in people or the will out in people. But no, I agree. Like Jose just kind of dropped a little secret there, a little bomb.
Yeah. Something me and Dunk were like toying with the other day on the Trello board, trying to figure out how it works, and that's
trying to write a user story around it. And I had a couple too many beers, so it wasn't good. Wasn't good timing on that.
All right, so we got somebody up. Blockchain.
Yeah, blockchain flow.
Hey, sorry to interrupt.
No.
Just wanted to let you know that it's really great to meet you, team. You guys are doing really great stuff, and I'm really impressed with what all is being done right now and what the future beholds. I just had a little question, like in terms of marketing and putting the word out there, and making most of the people know about VaporFi. Like, what's the plan? Like, the more people know, the better we're gonna grow and better we're gonna become as a strong community. So, I just wanna ask for that question.
No, of course. So it's something that John, myself, and Maz have been kind of talking about, but we'll talk about here more shortly in our chat. But you can only do so much advertising for DeFi. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but Google kind of blocks the majority of it, right?
Yeah, you don't find anything in the search engines. It's like word of mouth or something. But yeah,
I'll be taking care of that part, at least on the search side and such. Definitely the branding exercise we're going through. It's a critical part of kind of laying the groundwork for really going kind of balls out with marketing. But certainly we're it's top of mind right now in this site's redesign that John was speaking to. Definitely, I'm going to ensure it has a really solid SEO foundation, as well as being able to maximize the domain authority and everything, so we can break that wall from an organic search perspective, but also be formulating media plans for more, paid search and that or paid advertising and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so Google blocks a lot of crypto stuff, but especially for DeFi. So if we're able to, once John is done with the branding identity and we're able to build out that strategy and we do the website rebuild and he and Mose start working on certain words that we'll have on the website, we're going to show up more organically, like Mose said. So that's probably the next step. And then from there, once we are able to build something and Vaporchain is live, we can advertise that. We can advertise a lot of the other things that we're building. And we can do paid search. We can do Google AdWords. We're going to get set up with a a Google business account here, so we're able to track analytics, because I believe if you can track something, you can improve it. That's the reason they track, batting average and Major League Baseball and stuff like that, because it's a key indicator. So we have a lot of things that we're going to be able to do to grow, whether it's paid or organic. And the best part is that the community is always a big help in it, because we've grown so much organically from just the community alone. So we're going to continue to grow here, and we're excited for that next step of being able to pay for some advertising here.
Sounds good, guys. Out of all the communities that I see out there, this is one community that's held the test of time, even though it's a short time in crypto. But the amount of trust that you guys have built out there, and amount of hope people have amongst all the rug pulls and all kinds of things happening, it's really great to be part of such a great team as Vapor Finance. You guys really a hard out congratulations to all of you for your efforts and whatever you have done so far. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for popping up.
Thank you.
All right. I got a question from the AMAs. I'm gonna direct it at Maz and Tom, because I know we're working on it. So here's some good questions around it. If the diamond hand percentage is changed, have you considered how this will impact the strategy for new node holders? If it does change, maybe the change should be effective May 1st in order for holders to get out their diamond hand what they originally wanted.
I love that question. So I'll take the first swing at that. One of the three main criteria that drives this new proposal is that it doesn't lose the essence of who we are, what makes us different, our really kind of unconventional and creative ideas and strategies that people have come to discover and kind of tilt their brain around. And I'm making sure that we don't have some radical departure or all that kind of goes out the window. That retains that sort of brand promise of being very different. And that goes all the way down to some of the, kind of creative and unusual or unorthodox strategies to maximizing diamond hands and maximizing overall yield on your nodes. So yes, that is certainly very present and top of mind as we're crafting this new proposal.
Yeah, and to add to that, it's not just us thinking about it. There's actual data being put behind it that Snorky is pulling for us.
Oh, yes.
Some of the best data I've seen, it's actually pretty cool, and that's why I wanted to highlight this a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Maz is putting stuff together. We actually looking at it as a team. We had a meeting the other day, and it was actually pretty cool to have everybody talking and discussing what really works, what we can dial back and fix. So, and then on top of that, are we going to be implementing maintenance fees so we can grow the treasury faster? And that's another thing that's built inside of what would work and what won't work, right? So
we're not going to get into any spoilers about the actual nature or particulars of the proposal today. I can say we're putting everything on the table, and you'll find out soon enough.
There you go.
Yeah, and with that, there are so many variables that comes with this data. It's that you guys, your strategies are always changing. So, like as of the other day, I think it was 81% of people are compounding, which is great, but at the same time, it can be detrimental to the longevity of the project if we have that many Vapor locked in nodes. So there is a lot of stuff, and Snorky and Lockie have been doing a phenomenal job collecting a lot of the data and just kind of breaking it down. And hey, if X changes, this is how it'll affect Y, and this and that. And, I think that we're able to extrapolate it to some extent to see where we might end up. But just as any other project, things are always going to be about sustainability. That's always going to be our focus, and what's best for the community and how we're able to sustain.
All right, Larry. Welcome to the
Larry.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hi. Look, firstly, fantastic job you've done today on that AMA. I've listened to quite a few recently. And just the way comes across, a lot more professional, a lot more structured. You're answering the questions that people want to know. So for me, I think very bullish around Vapor, and have been since the start. Just keep communicating the way you are, and I'm assuming. Look, I'm sitting here in the background just thinking. Look, if you've got 100,000 VPND today, and you compound for a year, you've got 15 million. And that's great, fantastic, and you can look on a spreadsheet and think you're going to be a millionaire. But the reality is, I think you've already touched on, there has to be a plan to, obviously make the payout possible. And I'm assuming that's what you've been done with, the proposal that you're planning to put together. You're growing the team. And I know you've touched on it. You're obviously thinking ahead. In a nutshell, are you looking at the tokenomics and expanding the universe of Vapor to cover the eventuality of people just compounding and being able to sustain the project? Is that the sort of without giving anything away? Is that what you're trying to look at? What you're trying to do?
Yeah, of course.
That's fun. I just answered a question in the AMA channel about the exact same thing.
Okay.
No, good question.
And just one other thing, and you can take, we've just obviously seen the lead developers from Phantom sort of say, right, we've had enough, and that's all. And look, Jose's joined, and I know, fantastic job he's done. Obviously, look, if he walks away, then you need some succession planning and thoughts around, I'm not saying you are, Jose, hopefully you're here for the next, forever, but, the project could die if your lead dev goes, and we've seen it. So just look, clearly this isn't a rug, but just some comfort around, how the team's growing, and certainly, would be welcome as well.
So you guys
I could say I personally thought about that as well, Larry, where succession planning, things like that. That's something me and Tom and Jose can probably talk about too.
Yeah, let's go back to the first one real quick, because it wasn't answered, and I want Maz or Tom to answer it, because I just said I answered it in the AMA channel, but I want the answer on the AMA. So go ahead.
No, like you said, that's something that we have gathered the numbers on, and we're going to continue to do so, because if everybody just compounded, there would be no more runway for the project. So that is something that we are continuing to collect the data on, and we want to kind of try to put it into our systems and say, all right, what is sustainable for 6 months, a year, 5 years, and we don't know yet what those numbers are, because like I said before, there's always going to be everybody's strategies changing. So that is something that's tough to extrapolate, but we can also say, all right, if we change or if we get rid of, say, diamond hands, what would everybody's strategy turn into be? And you can kind of say, all right, if everybody goes from 81% to 35%, this is what would happen. So that is something that we're looking at all the time. And I think you guys are going to love what's proposed. But yeah, it's always in the back of our mind, and it's always going to be an ongoing chat.
Yeah.
And I would just echo the very same things. Our first and foremost, the main prime directive of this proposal is to course correct to a really strong trajectory of sustainability, extending runway. That's first and foremost with the proposal. It doesn't end there, but that certainly is a first main criteria. So I'm putting as much of my math brain as I can on that part of it. So yes, and can't wait to really dive into the details of that once we publish it live.
Correct. And thank you guys for saying it, because that's how I answered it as well in the chat. Was our number one priority is making sure we're here long term, right? The question was asked about removing diamond hands. You're gonna make everybody upset about all the new investors who came in. You're gonna make them upset with what they joined for, right? And obviously,
absolutely,
we don't want that. But understanding, bringing in, the flipping of the script, brought, we grew exponentially with that, and it wasn't something we were prepared for. So now we have to come. That's why this team is being put together, and actual data is being put together on, and that we can look at and try to model this. And that's what's exciting to me, is we can start seeing this and really dial things in. So I just wanted to answer that, because to me, that's a good question.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, where did we launch Flip the Script? Like 2.5 weeks ago?
Yeah, I feel like it's been
probably almost a month now.
Yeah.
Feels like.
Was it? All right. It was like 2.5, 3 weeks maybe. But when we launched Flip the Script, we had about 14,500 nodes.
Yes.
And now we're at 43,500. So we have grown exponentially. It's locked up a lot of Vapor in nodes. So that is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. But like Renegade said, we want to be here for the long run. We want to be here forever. And we're going to have to get creative and use all the data that we have.
Yep. Larry, good question.
Hey, I'd love to just point out one thing, not so much on the numbers, but there's a lot of talk about runway. We use that word a lot, runway, and it's used constantly in nodes. And one of the things that is so different and special about VaporFi is, what is a runway? A runway is building enough time for you to take off, right? And we're actually building something, with Vaporchain and the other projects and other ideas that are going to build massive utility into the ecosystem, so that there's actually this takeoff at the end of the runway, where we're not just trying to extend the internal tokenomics forever, but that we're actually using it to build real tangible utility and real tangible tools for the ecosystem.
Yep.
Well said.
Yep. All right, Larry, we answer your question.
Yeah, no, thanks, guys. I mean, I really appreciate that, and it's great to hear from you. Actually, I think it's given me a lot more comfort around the project, and just really bullish about it. If you might want to just comment about Jose and the potential dev team and how that might scale and just grow. I think that really just help again, just provide some extra comfort in that area as well, if you could.
Yeah, that's right. Your second part of the question.
Yeah.
Jose can answer that. But as you see, this is already growing, right? This team here isn't the dev team, but there is more. So I'll let Jose answer that one.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm sorry.
I'll chime in. What he said, Jose, was with the Andre and his team leaving Phantom,
what
just happened. His hopes is that's not something you're gonna do, because first of all, I have your phone number and I know where you live, so you can't. Number one, right? Tom, we'll come get him. No, we're just kidding. Jose, I don't know if you guys know this, but Jose quit his job to do this full time. So that's number one.
I was trying to think. Yeah, thank you, man. I was trying to think the best way to approach this question, and I understand actually precisely today why people might be concerned about that. So you are really hype about one project. You are trusting the developers. You are trusting the builders, and suddenly they decide to drop. Then what, right? I think there are several things about this. But basically, just to summarize, the developers have complete access to the code. They understand the code. Right now, my role is most for signing the sensible transactions. So Tom and we have the keys to the project. We can we take care of the project, but the team is actually coming with ideas, building the things, and I'm supervising what they do, and I'm trying to I don't know how to say, make sure we are heading the right direction, right? But even if something happens to me suddenly, I'm confident that the developers, the development team can take over, and I never could leave without making sure that
Vapor's taking
care. That I'm not hurting the protocol in anyhow.
So building a good bench behind you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's the way it should be. Larry, does that help you?
Yeah, and that's great, guys. I just, as I say, I think it just coincidence what happened today, and then you think actually, and you don't really know how big the team is behind you, that you've got. So I think maybe you might just want to explain that out on a note in the Discord, because I think you've obviously building out the team roles and responsibilities. And just to give some, that as you said, if one person's driving the car and they jump out, then that's the concern. So it's just if you can give the community some comfort, which you just have, but maybe just explain what would happen, or the fact that you've got a bench behind you, you've got cover. Again, just provides that level of confidence that if one person leaves, you can handle it in whatever role they do.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, and something I want to do for the Discord once we get this. So today was the announcement of the new team members, and there's more. I'm going to be restructuring the Discord where you can see, the dev team, the advisory board team. You'll be able to see more people on the team, and rather than just team and then mods, right? So that's my goal, is to help start making that more visible, where you can see more people, and then we'll put next to our names or something. We'll organize it where you'll see the dev team a little bit bigger and whatnot.
Perfect. No, that's great, because it just thought when I invested, I thought it was just a couple of you guys. So I mean, the fact that so it'll be really good. But look, I'll step down, let somebody else talk. But thank you guys, and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Larry.
Thank you.
Thank you. In our core chat here, this is, I think all the devs are in there, right, Jose? All the devs are in the core chat?
Yeah, sorry, it was muted. No, there's one more missing, but yeah, almost everyone is already there.
So including the one that's missing with the people I introduced today, everybody that I said is on our advisory board. This is not including all the mods, but we'd be at a team of 16 currently.
Yeah, not.
So to give you an idea, it really, Jose and I started it, and then we brought on, Renegade and the other mods, and Dunk and Lockie and Rick and some of the other guys, and it really went from kind of just four of us talking about what to do, what to propose, how to navigate certain things, what we want to work on next, to a team of 16 plus the mods in a matter of 3 months. Yeah. So yeah, it's been huge. It's been great, and we're going to continue to grow big time.
Yes. Before Ozman, before you ask your question, Maz, I tagged you in a AMA question below, or in the AMA questions, I tagged you in some about digital marketing. Our community, as we all know, as we see, most of the team is from the community, is amazing. So we always pulling from help, always pulling some resources from our community is always good. So Maz, I tagged you in one.
I just saw it. Yeah, cool. I'm taking a look at it right now.
All right. And then
Ozman.
Yep, Ozman.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are doing great. I think it's gonna be good, this project. I just had a quick question, or maybe a suggestion. You were talking about advertising on Google and Google, blocking stuff. Have you looked at pre-search and staking keywords on pre-search? It's a decentralized search engine.
Yeah, I mean, we have looked at pre-search, but we haven't looked at advertising on there yet, really.
Yeah, you could stake some pre and on your keyword, and then it shows up, and it's not too expensive to do.
That's definitely something we would want to put in the mix of a true media plan, for sure.
Yeah.
Any kind of reach we can get like that, all the better.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Thanks for the question, Ozman.
No problem. Thank you.
Short, sweet, and simple. I like it.
I like it. Okay.
I got two questions for you guys before we go to another one in the chat. How has the Bored Ape Yacht Club purchase helped in marketing? Has it helped in the inner circle of the Bored Ape Yacht Club community?
Yeah, I mean, we've had people join the community that have said, "Hey, I saw you in the Bored Apes Yacht chat, or I saw the beer that the Big Friendly in OKC made for you guys." And we actually had 3 other breweries reach out in the meantime and ask if they can make one as well. So, um, just because, don't forget, just because we're in crypto doesn't mean that we don't want other people from the outside knowing about us as well. That's the reason for merchandise. That's the reason we bought the Bored Ape. The Bored Ape will eventually be in a bunch of breweries and hopefully grow from there because they all are mentioning VaporFi on the beer as well. And I think they started selling it this week at the brewery. So I'll get with them. I'll see what people's feedback is. Ask if anybody asks questions, and I think we haven't even seen close to what the Bored Ape will eventually do for us. And I see every day, a Bored Ape so and so sells for 500 ETH, and stuff like that. So I think we'll continue to grow that, and they're doing a token drop eventually, and maybe we can airdrop those or something like that. I don't know what we'll get, but. There's a lot that can be done with that still, and it's something that we're going to capitalize on eventually.
I agree. I think it's been awesome. I think it's been a great brand, or at least fun to have.
And that paid for itself within like 5 hours of us buying it because the buy volume we got, the amount of tweets that we got. And like I said, people pop in from the Bored Ape chat. I'm in there frequently talking about VaporFi.
Yep.
And I'm sure the price has already grown on it as well in terms of value.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So. Well, Tom said he was going to give it to me, though, so I just wanted you guys to.
I'm still waiting for my beer shipment, Tom.
I know the beer. I can't wait for that, too.
We're waiting on that stuff still.
No, okay, one more. This one's for Jose, though. Before DeFi, I see he came up. One more. What is the biggest challenge the team is fighting to build Vaporchain right now? I don't think fighting is the word, but what's the biggest challenge for Vaporchain?
I think the biggest challenge, we talked about it, is that we don't want projects to rot on Vaporchain. And that we want to make sure we are building a safe place for everyone.
Yeah, and how to do
it. I think that's the biggest struggle. Yeah, I think that's it. Because technically, we will find solutions, but we want our community to be safe.
Yeah, the problem we've been discussing is there's no guarantee, right? Like, how do we, in this space, how do we do that appropriately?
Yeah, because you guys are seeing a lot of KYC projects that we had thought of initially was that Vaporchain was going to be the chain of transparency, and we partnered with Assure DeFi, and we're still going to push people to KYC with Assure DeFi. But if we are turning people down from launching on Vaporchain because they won't KYC or they won't dox, then we're essentially not decentralized finance, which is what we love and which is why we're here. So it's a fine line, and it's something that we're all going to have to talk about going forward with Vaporchain. I think, like
some Jose conversations said, to be had there still.
Exactly. There's a lot of conversations to be had there because we want to be as transparent as possible, and we want projects launching to be as transparent as possible and to protect you guys. But then we're also playing judge for DeFi, which is dangerous, in my opinion. So a lot of conversations to be had going forward.
Agree. All right. Just doing a time check. We're at 1 hour and 10. So
let's do like another 10 minutes here.
All right,
yeah, DeFi. We don't have a lot of people left in the queue. Oh, yeah, we do now. Okay, there's 5 people now.
As you say that, everybody raises their hand. No. DeFi, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Wow, that last question was like pretty much almost exactly what I was going to ask about the subnet and, doing KYC and doxing, and it's important. I know another token that are launching their own subnet as well, and they also are doing a liquidity lending service as well, where they're they're also lending liquidity to newer projects instead of having to do pre-sales and whitelists and things like that. But one of the elements that I really liked, and I was wondering if you all were doing something similar, is, when new projects want to onboard onto their platform, they, in addition to doing KYC and doxing, they're also going to be, vetting the token itself for sustainability, running the math, running the numbers, just like you said, Lockie and Dunk are doing in the background, making sure that, everything adds up and that it's sustainable and has a decent runway. Is that something that you consider? I guess that's maybe more of a Jose question, or I don't know who that would be directed towards, but, just kind of, looking at the code and looking at, the tokenomics and seeing if it's actually something that is not really based in like Ponzinomics, but it has some, decent body to it and can actually have a long runway.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough to do as well, because I mean we need like a whole board essentially to do that, of auditing and stuff like that for people launching.
Yeah, I think that will be if we pretend to, or if we intend to support other teams to launch on Vaporchain, like under our brand, we'll have to make sure their contracts are safe and yeah, we make sure, or at least categorize the projects as something like high risk or more on the risk category.
Yeah, and this is kind of what he was talking about. What the biggest challenge is. This is what we've been kicking around as a team already, because in my opinion, we can build a subnet, sounds great, but we need to be bigger. We want to be better. We want to be that circle of trust or union of transparency, whatever we end up going direction wise. And Jose agrees, like we want that next level where people come, but how do we get there? How do we make sure we aren't subject to a rug that then ruins our name, right? So we have to be careful here. We got to figure out the right direction on this, and I think that is probably as of right now, our biggest hurdle, because Jose's the genius. He's already, knowing Jose, he's probably already done with the subnet. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm just saying how good he is.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, the Avalanche network as a whole is almost like a precipice, where, you look at BSC or the Binance Smart Chain and like how many projects launch on a daily there, and just a ton of them are just shit. I mean, they suck. And
No, this is exactly what I mentioned. Me and Jose were talking about this, was, Binance, they're so large, they could do something where, you already have to KYC just to get on Binance. How come projects don't have to? How come projects don't have to go to the next step and give all the information when they want to do this? They could. We all know they could. So that's where we get into, right? How do we do it right? Because that would create a much larger team to be able to do everything we want to do, right? You'd have to hire a whole nother team to be able to do research into their codes, make sure auditing, all of that. So that's
monitoring the projects, make sure they're not running.
Well, reach out to me, guys. I have some connections for auditing and have run a few audits myself. I did the one for the Spartan Capital. I did the audit for their launch, and
now you tell me.
Yeah, yeah, that was me over there. You see the Only Up Capital if you see any of those. I've been staying in the background, but that's been me if you've seen any of those audits come out. So there's gonna be more coming out too. So if you guys need someone for that, feel free to reach out. And I know you probably need more of a team than just, audits for security, but you also need someone that can knows the math and what's actually going to work in a real market. So, feel free to reach out on that. And
stuff for us to work out. Like the question was asked, what's the hardest thing to me? And I agree with Jose. I didn't even think about that. What's the hardest thing is how do we make it right?
Yeah, I agree. I'm big on writing user stories, and so a lot of the stuff we do is around a user story and how it will affect a user, and from a user's perspective. So when we write out stuff on our boards, that's how I write it out, and that's how we'll think. We'll think from a user's perspective. What would they like to see, and things like that.
Amen to that.
Where's that meme? I'm kidding. Love it. All right, Defi.
I swear, if you weren't my friend.
Good stuff. Hey, Defi, good question. I love how it rolled into all of it. That was good. Thank you. All right. What is
You want to
this?
do one from audience, one from?
Yeah, trying to keep up with these is okay. Is VPND price drops during the world events something the project is concerned about in regards to sustainability?
I would say that we're up.
I mean, we are up. Yeah, we're up. We've done well this week, but to say that a project is not subject to world market pressure is I would say inaccurate. Everybody is subject to that. Every project is subject to it, right? It's people's.
Every project has felt this war.
Yeah,
it's tough.
So his next question is: this is the reason for funds put into stablecoin, correct? So the team, if you guys remember correctly, we had the last Treasury vote where we put 25% into stable, and that was, as I mentioned in the announcement, was done with the advisory board at the right time to do it, off of the vote that the community voted on. So that was the direction we went with for the stables, and then we put the AVAX in a staking, right? We staked our AVAX.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're obviously keeping an eye on it. I love seeing the advisory board talk and talk about what the world events are going on. But to say that any project is not subject to that is short-sighted, because everyone is.
Yeah.
Money moves, and money moves with emotion. So everyone's subject to that.
And to give you an idea, we are a few of us were keeping an eye on the charts to kind of see where AVAX was going to top out at, and I think we sold 14,075 AVAX for 1.2 million. And if we bought AVAX back now at the price it's at, we would net a little over 2,000 AVAX, which is enough for a validator.
Yeah, that was, you guys called it too. That was actually what was it, 70? You called 78, 79. It was a great call.
We sold it at 84.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm thinking the this week.
Yeah, we sold it at 84, and I was kind of keeping an eye on the Bitcoin chart, and the Bitcoin chart looked weak, and it dropped right where I thought it would, and that's pretty much when we sold the AVAX as well. David and I and Lockie were talking about it, and I think we played it pretty well so far.
Agree. Maybe a follow-up question to Larry. The dev team has grown, but the multi-sig, how will that be handled? Tom and Jose should never travel together.
So what is this? Last Survivor or something? What is it with the Congress?
No, I mean, believe it or not, so coming from the car business, that's actually one of the things that I was told too, is, as a partner, you don't ever travel with your other partner. And I've never seen it happen, actually. And luckily, my fiance knows what she's talking about when it comes to crypto. So she's got all my, passwords and all that stuff. And I have Jose's wife's contacts and everything in the event that I need to reach out. And we have everything written down, and we're going to continue to take other steps to secure information.
And hopefully, ESTM, that answered your question. Let's see. Check mark that. Okay, who's up? Hey, it's Serg.
Hey guys. Hey, it's crazy to look here to see you guys from first MAA. It was from 17 people, and now we have an audience of 441, and it's growing.
Yes, sir.
Wow, it's very awesome, guys. A question kind of for everybody. Maybe we could get for the upcoming snapshot, and as a pioneer for someone that's been in the community from day one and kind of has an impact and everything. And I like to follow up, and I want to know more as a question. Can we get a little bit, is there any hint or information for upcoming snapshot for maybe the people who are trying to get in, or maybe some people that are holding and trying to see what's going on for upcoming future?
You mean for the snapshot of Vaporchain?
Yeah.
So
48, where you guys mentioned coming up here that you guys are going to have a vote.
No.
For
sustainability. I mean, we kind of, Mo's kind of talked about that. It's going to be about sustainability still.
Okay.
We think you guys are going to like the snapshot. You're going to like the vote.
Yeah, you're gonna have time, as Maz said, you're gonna have time to review it, look over it, and then also there'll be another AMA to maybe do more questions once it's out. Correct me if I'm wrong, Maz.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so we're trying to roll this out a little bit better. We're trying to be more communicative, up front, right? We want information out that helps everybody understand what's going on. So that is the goal. We didn't want to give too much information right now because we still are dialing it in as we're pulling data and looking at things. So I don't think we have much more to share, I guess is the word.
Awesome. That's all right. I gave it a shot. I see there's a few of us that's been here since day one. I thought maybe an exclusive pioneer hope question, but that's all right. I love the support, guys. I'll be here. I'll be on Twitter. I know I'm always on the chat, always going, thriving. So keep it up, guys. And that's it. Thank you, and I'll keep up.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
and I'll say
Thank
this.
you.
I'll say this. I hope this maybe assures you a little bit with, if you guys know me, transparent or open, and I'm in multiple projects, and that's me. I will say this: seeing the data that we're pulling here at Vapor, I've never seen it before. It's beautiful.
Awesome.
It's not just going, hey, let's try to figure this out, and we're throwing it at a dartboard. It's dialing.
It's data driven.
Yeah,
it's a data driven approach.
Yeah.
Math fucking rocks.
Yeah, it gave me the chills.
Yes, thank you.
It gave me the chills looking at the data that we can work with and actually truly figure this out. So it was really nice.
All right, thank you very much for that.
Thanks. Tom, do we have time for one more, or are we finishing up?
Sure, I'll do one more question.
Oh,
buddy.
Uno más.
Make it a good one, Jags fan. You're up on the stage. Last question, guys. Jags, you are on mute.
Look at Bruce Almighty over there with his keyboard. That's what I pictured right now. Him or the cat at the keyboard. The meme. Jags fan, can you hear us?
Oh yeah, I hear you. I had been talking. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
No, I was on mute. I was just chiming in on the KYC thing because I do understand now that it kind of. I mean, even if they KYC, especially if they're not in the United States, there's a lot. I guess a lot of this in the United States maybe can be picked up, but when you're overseas, it's a little bit harder. But even on Vaporchain, is there a way to put a red dot or a green dot that just signifies KYC, so the person just can make their choice, right by their logo,
Well, that's a good question. It wouldn't essentially be the individuals that we're asking to KYC. It would be the projects that are launching, and that is something that we would probably do. Is that if a project that is launching KYCs through Assure DeFi, they'd probably get like a little badge next to their name or something like that.
Right, right.
But yeah, that is something that's been discussed. But as we said, if we're playing the judge, it could get a little tricky if we want to operate in DeFi.
Right, and I don't expect you to, based on everything I've been hearing. So that's why I just said, well, just may be good to let the person just decide, because if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter anyway,
Yeah, we gotta be sensitive, right? Because what happened? I'll share you an example with you. People fork our code, and in the code you could see things, and it comes back to Vapor somehow, and people are like, "Oh no, Vapor's bad," and so being sensitive to things just like that, the same conversation can happen with them being on our chain. Oh my God, they're on Vaporchain and they rugged. Vapor is horrible. Like,
they want to be the Binance scam chain.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So we have to be sensitive. That's like the sentiment in the crypto space is, there's logical people, and then there's some who don't think very logical. So we have to be sensitive to that.
Right. Okay. And here's something else I want. You know, as I've learned to, when I say things, I reflect on what I say, and then I say to myself, "Oh Lord, maybe that didn't come out right." Now, last AMA, I was talking about, which I think you guys took as, what is she talking about? I was talking about the wrap on the toilet, and I was talking about part.
I do remember. We
remember.
Right, right. But the reason why I said that is because when I have parties, I would have, you know, there are so many people that go in the bathroom and then they're like, "Oh my God, that was nice." And, you know, when did you guys do this? Oh, and so when I was saying, you know, wrap my toilet, I was saying like I would have the cloud, with VaporFi on the cover, and then the toilet would be wrapped in VaporFi, so that when after they've used the bathroom, they're like, and then it would be beautiful. Okay, I'm not saying no shitty toilet. Okay. And so then it would come out, and they're like, "Man, what's that VaporFi? You know, what?" And so then, you know, and I guess it may just be me. I'm always a partier. I always have those types of people who, you know, I don't have to say anything to, but then they wound up asking me different things. But I said that, and then I thought about, in your merchandise store, have you guys ever thought about, you know, coming up with a wrap that you sell in that store, or you just don't think that would make any money?
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a toilet wrap in my life. I mean,
from a marketer's perspective, I'll take eyeballs on our brand in any way we can get them.
How about not on the toilet? How about in front of the toilet, like the wall, right?
Right. Yeah, I was wondering that too, like the shower curtain. Let's go with the shower curtain so they're looking at that while using the facilities.
Jag, your question, it's so funny that you came up because we were like, what? We're still trying to figure out what you were talking about. So your toilet wrap question had us.
Yeah,
and it still does. It's all good.
Yeah. But anyway, you know, there are people who wrap their counters. They wrap. I mean, there's just, it's too many things that can be wrapped as long as you put it in a good taste. You know, it may not seem, you know, it'd be blue and all of that. It may not seem right, but if your kitchen is made, you know, with a lot of white and this, that, and the other, it may be beautiful. And especially for somebody who is invested in the team and is being their investment is, you know, they're being compensated from that investment. It makes a big difference. You know, you don't have to have just the plain white tiles or marble or whatever, you know.
We like people to be different, right?
Let me just say that regardless of like what the merchandise is, if it's a toilet wrap or whatever it is, going forward, as we are redesigning the brand and we're building our new brand assets, the merchandise it's gonna kick ass. It's gonna look so good. That's totally on our radar. I mean, we're looking at totally bringing it to life, you know, a whole new level of how that stuff looks. So, you know, whether it's your typical stuff like a mug or a tote bag or a backpack or like whatever it is, or some unconventional ideas for merch, it's all going to look really, really good really soon.
Yeah, so you might want to hold off on that toilet wrap just quite yet until the new brand comes out.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
Of all ideas, Jags fan, thank you for coming up. That's you have me crying. I'm laughing. The general chat is loving the idea. Of all ideas, I'll say you gotta get creative. I got you.
Yeah, you have to be able to visualize it. You just don't understand where I'm coming from.
I see. I see.
I do. You want to give that impression and really have them coming away thinking and have that different experience at your parties.
I'll wrap my toilet, but my wife is not gonna be happy. She likes farmhouse decorations, not VaporFi.
Yeah, it wouldn't be in your main area. It's going to be, in the bathroom access by the partygoers. That's all.
I love the idea. Oh, good stuff.
Right.
Thank you for the question, and we're gonna end on that one.
Yeah, I think that's a good one to end on.
Oh,
all right. I appreciate everybody jumping in today. I think at one point we had just under 500 or a little over 500 people in here. So thank you all for the great questions. Thank you for everybody that in the team that spoke. Does anybody have any closing statements they'd like to make?
I always have mine, so if anybody has one, go ahead. I'll do mine last.
I'll just say really quick, if there were questions that people couldn't get on stage, my DMs are open, and if it's something in my ballpark that I can help answer, go ahead and shoot them over.
Yeah, same for me. I'll throw that out there too.
Yep,
we're always open. Good questions.
One more thing, I've got so many people reaching out to me on Twitter and Discord that want to push us. Marketing wise, some of them are obviously very scammy, and some of them are asking for stupid money when they have a bunch of fake followers. But once we build this brand identity and the new website and a few other things that we're working on, and we really do make that marketing push, you guys are going to see a world of difference. So we're very excited for that.
Yeah, very exciting. My same sentiment. My ending is always, the chat gets kind of rough. People come in, start talking or fudding. We're always open to questions and comments and concerns. We just don't, we want to keep the positivity going. We want honest questions and answers. This week kind of things got a little rough at times, and I just want to share. Let's as a community keep coming together, keep working towards positivity and honest answers and questions. We're always open to that by all means, but trolling and messing with people is not something we want as a community. So let's try to stay together. Let's stay banded together, and we can take this thing to the moon.
And some of those questions, some of those honest questions, sometimes are not a place for in general. Like let's have the conversation on the side and keep general being positive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody. Have a great weekend. Rest of your weekend, at least.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Okay, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video if you haven't already. And I'll see you all again soon. All right, peace.